A Canadian college student has been expelled for exposing security flaws in the school's computer system. Computer science student named Hamed Al-Kabaz found the vulnerability while working on a mobile app that allows students to access their college accounts on their phones. This is according to Wired. The flaws would have enabled students to access sensitive information like addresses, class schedules, and social insurance numbers. These numbers are similar to social security numbers in the U.S. And he wanted to bring this attention to Dawson College in Montreal, but the president of the software company called what Al-Kabaz did a form of a cyber attack. And shortly thereafter, the college expelled him for his conduct. For more, Michael Gregg, COO of Superior Solutions, joins me now. Welcome there, Michael. So can this really be considered a cyber attack, as that company called it?
This type of activity isn't really called a cyber attack, but there's really two pieces to this story. One, that he found the problem in the code. The second one was that he used a scanning product to actually scan to see if the problem had been fixed. Once he scanned their network, that typically sets off alarms and sets off triggers, because that's usually times to test a network or potentially as a prequel to an attack.
Okay, so, the protocols are there. It sensed that there was something going on there. But the fact that he's expelled and there's all these repercussions, I mean, how can it be considered an attack if he never intended to harm anyone or steal any information?
That's kind of tough, but here would be the big thing I would say. We do security assessments, we do pen testing, and generally the protocol is you never scan a network, you never run a port scan, you never run any type of tool against that network until you've been given written permission. So that's generally the protocol.
Okay, so regardless of what his intentions did, what he ended up doing is considered harmful, no matter how you cut it.
Not so much harmful, but at least I would describe it as bad form.
And I know that you actually, your job is to do this, is to hack into networks, into computers, in an effort to expose vulnerabilities. So it sounds like that this is kind of a sought-after service.
It is very much so. And I guess the one thing I would say about this is I think maybe they went a little too far in expelling him. But I mean, I don't know all the facts. But what I would actually wonder is many times what happens is that old saying kind of goes, kill the messenger, meaning that after he actually exposed this, sometimes people don't like being told that there's a problem. They don't like finding out potentially that something could be exploited. And at that point, maybe they just wanted it all to go away.
Right. Well, I mean, on the flip side, I guess what could have happened is if he didn't expose the flaw, that somebody with bad intentions that did want to steal information would have done so, and then the school would have found out the hard way.
Sure, and I agree with you on that. I think, though, after he discovered the flaw and he reported it, before he ever actually scanned their network, he should have at least said, hey, can I scan your network? Do you mind if I scan your network? Have you fixed the problem? I'm going to make this public at such and such date. I'm going to tell the press. I'm going to do some type of responsible process of letting others know that this could be a problem.
Right, right. So now this college, Dawson College, over there in Montreal, the latest that I've heard is that they're not going to take him back. But it seems like he's getting a lot of job offers after this. That very software company where he, I guess, hacked is now offering him a job. This is according to the National Post. So would you say that good hackers are in demand these days?
Most definitely, good hackers are always in demand. And that's good, because I was going to say he most definitely, I would think, probably has a good skill set there that's needed. Just look at the news on any one particular day, and you'll see news of security breaches, medical records being exposed, other types of data being potentially hacked on the news. So good set of skill. I would wonder, though, with the company, that actually came back and offered him the job, if they were doing that simply to offer him a job, or they're trying to make the best of the situation now that they got him kicked out of school.
Right, right. Yeah. So we see this case. He's facing the consequences. He got expelled from college, and this is coming after this tragic case of Aaron Swartz, the renowned internet activist who is facing a good amount of jail time for he's accused of hacking into a computer database and trying to distribute that information. A lot of people saying that in that case that was prosecutorial overreach. So we are seeing a lot of harsh penalties for these kinds of computer crimes. So do you think that maybe it's time that the laws that they need to be strengthened to determine, what exactly is a cyber attack and what the appropriate penalties are?
Most definitely. I think the really tough part is if you look back in the 1990s and you look back maybe 10 years or so, that many times the penalties were not very tough at the time. And with anything, there always tends to be a whiplash or kind of a backlash over time. And I think that's what you're seeing here, is because there's been so many reports in the news that even simply doing a port scan, or maybe simply starting to talk about something that you may have found that could be a vulnerability, people are very sensitive to that today.
Very interesting. And Michael, really appreciate you coming on the show and shedding some light on this. That was Michael Gregg, the COO of Superior Solutions.